Flat Earth northern and southern star rotation parabolic mirror inversion does work on a flat plane. And before we watch the explanation video, in this video right here, that's in Antarctica, for the people who say, no, the northern stars could not mirror the southern stars, well, they actually could. We just have not been able to go explore and validate this 100% because we're not allowed to independently explore down there. Because here in the Antarctica station video, we can see the Dipper constellation, the Little Dipper, which is only a northern perspective constellation that could only be seen in Antarctica in the south if everything was a mirror inversion. And for Polaris, which is also explained in the video, as you move far enough away from the northern perspective, it will drop and it will start to become Polaris Australis. Because everyone does see Polaris, because Polaris for the south is Polaris Australis, aka Sigma Octantis, which is also explained in the rest of the video. Sigma Octantis, aka Polaris Australis, can be understood as a parabolic reflection of the central northern star, known as Polaris. Sigma Octantis is the southern counterpart to Polaris. It's the same star, and it's all the same light from the black sun. Hence, that's why they called it Polaris Australis, because it's just the Australia version of Polaris. We only actually have one source of star rotation. We have the apparent motion of that rotation changing depending on where and which direction you are looking. Also depending on where on Earth you were when you make that observation and you document the analysis. The motion of the stars never changes, but your perspective appears to induce the motion to change clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on where your perspective is looking at that time. We only have one source of star motion, but it's just that our perspective makes it look like there's two rotations. So if we have motion like this in the north, you see that the stars are rotating one way. But however, if you go farther southward and turn around and you look from the opposing viewpoint the other way, then the same motion will converge and it will be a parabolic reflection from the north. It just seems to give that illusionary appearance that it's rotating the opposite way. It looks the other way, but it's all still one rotation that comes from the center vortex. It's the same rotation and the same star motion. Depending on where you're looking from, will make it move one way or the other, depending on where you're looking. And it's all going to be dependent on whether you're looking north, south, east, or west. Now, I will display stellarium, and I have the projection programmed to be on an orthographic azimuthal perspective. And as you can see, in the north, I'm locked onto Polaris, and we have the northern rotation moving counterclockwise. And as I move southward, you start to see the convergence, and you start to see Polaris drop in altitude, okay? So if I get toward the equator in the middle, and I look towards the sides, if I'm looking at either the east or the west, then the stars are going to be moving straight up above me and then straight down behind me on the other side when they're setting in the west. Okay, recap. Okay, so we have the counterclockwise rotation in the north that is appearing to rotate clockwise in the south as its counter, but it's still the same source of rotation. And once you move down into the south and you look southward, you're going to see that counter rotation. And the southern counter rotation is a mirrored image from the north. It's a parabolic reflection. In stellarium, I'm in the south location here, and you can see we have the southern rotation. It's Polaris Australis, otherwise known as Sigma Octantis. Latitude and longitude lines are derived from the elevation angles to Polaris, the azimuthal equidistant grid of observability. The south pole of Earth from the equator is backward engineered from elevation angles to Polaris, which gives you the backward construction of the sky based on Cartesian azimuthal coordinates to a cylindrical globe projection. Just about every single map projection is the same data, just represented in a different variation, but it's still all the same thing. The truth is, there's only one rotation in the north that gets mirrored out to the south. When the question comes up, how can three people in the south at separate locations looking in different directions be able to see the same thing?
The explanation is that they're all seeing the parabolic mirrored reflection of the northern rotation at their horizontal southern zenith, the orthographic azimuthal equidistant grid of observability, with the moving observer-based latitude being dependent on the azimuthal grid moving around with the observer. That's exactly how this works, and it is legitimately valid to represent where each observer each sees their own slice of the sky pie.
The concept of a level centralized horizontal star rotation is crucial to understanding the parabolic reflection that occurs against a reflective, multi-layered concave firmament. And this phenomena is a fundamental aspect of the Earth's southern magnetic enclosure, often conceptualized as a torus field based upon our limitations of the light spectrum. The star rotation at the center north projects outward, southward, creating a mirrored image that is parabolically reflected by the firmament, so it will spin in opposite directions just like a mirror. This reflective mechanism is intrinsic to the structure of a torus field, particularly within the southern hemisphere, serving as a magnetic enclosure, and the torus field operates as both a physical and metaphysical boundary, where the interaction between the centralized rotation and the concave surface results in a mirrored celestial phenomena in the southern latitudes, and vice versa in the northern latitudes. This understanding challenges conventional perspectives, where the reflections and the rotations that we observe are deeply interconnected with the black sun emanating from the magnetic north, projecting the planets as stellar imprints, non-physical energy centers being projected like a disco ball. Now, it's so crucial to recognize that the singular central north star, Polaris, manifests its rotational influence parabolically throughout the entire southern hemisphere. I can't stress that enough. Polaris manifests its rotational influence parabolically throughout the entire southern hemisphere. And this distribution results in each observer, depending on their geographical position in the southern hemisphere, they're perceiving only a fragment, a slice of the central sky pie, which is the overarching celestial rotation as it appears on the southern horizon. In the context of the geocentric model, the notion that all celestial bodies emanate from the same source of light reflects a unified cosmological perspective. The stars, although they are individually named and cataloged through various astronomical traditions, they are still in essence manifestations of the black sun, the undifferentiated luminescence, often referred to as the primordial being or the unmovable mover. And this fragmentation of what was once perceived as a cohesive whole has been vastly reduced to the division and naming of Earth's landmasses and separate stars. The process of dividing and naming the Earth's territories parallels the celestial naming conventions, where what was once perceived as an interconnected and unified cosmos has been dissected and compartmentalized into sections. The act of naming, both in celestial and terrestrial realms, reflects a broader tendency to impose order, which is what we don't want. Originally, we were perceived as an indivisible whole, and in this view, the stars, the earth, and humanity itself are all part of a once unified existence, now segmented and classified, yet still connected by the underlying unity that transcends these divisions. This perception arises because the southern celestial hemisphere represents an exploded, expanded parabolic portion of the central northern star's rotation. Observers in the southern hemisphere, when they are gazing south, they perceive this phenomena as a mirrored image of the northern rotation, when the northern observer is simultaneously seeing the same thing except in a mirrored reversed image. Therefore, Sigma Octantis should be appreciated not merely as a solitary star, but a parabolic reflection of Polaris inextricably linked to the greater cosmic order. The firmament is conceived as a celestial sphere that envelopes the observer, while the Earth itself is portrayed as a flat dielectric inertial plane. What we call a tangible three-dimensional world is in truth actually a two-dimensional dielectric inertial plane broadcasting specific frequencies. And this broadcast is the very essence of material objects within our toroidal reality, which are actually fundamentally composed of light. However, it's essential to recognize that everything at its core is an electromagnetic frequency, These frequencies are in essence light. The toroidal whirlpools of energy that we perceive as physical entities are actually manifestations of these energies and these frequencies. It is important to understand that just because light is not visible to the naked eye does not diminish its presence. The universe we live in is a light-based universe. Everything within it, our bodies, the screen that you're looking through right now, the world around us, is composed of light. And what we perceive as solid matter is in reality a form of energy shaped by light, a notion that becomes even more profound when considering the geocentric world and the role of consciousness in it as we ascend up the universal science. Consciousness interacts with the foundational light, making it malleable and giving rise to the various forms that we recognize as matter. The separation we perceive between different objects or between ourselves and the external world is merely an illusion. It's an artifact of our limited perception. And in truth, there is no genuine separation. There's only an interconnected continuum of light energy. We have to consider the possibility that we are living within a nested reality. Realities within realities, because we advance in technology, creating video games and AR. So we mimic reality and we create all these realities composed within another reality made of light. And these simulations appear materialized to our senses, yet they are fundamentally light-based constructs.